Breaking news, Kwon has just tweeted out a thread addressing the collapse of Luna and UST and sharing an audit of what was going on during that collapse with their reserves and everything. So we're going to check that out and then go into the charts and look at where crypto is headed here. All right, so here it is. Kwon just tweeted this out about 2 hours ago. So here it is. A third-party audit of LFG and TFL's PEG defense activity during May 2022 has been published, so you can check that out here. And then he goes on to talk about all this. So he says, before we get into the audit, many of you lost a lot of money in UST. For this, I am sorry. While the system was transparent and open source, I, as its creator, should have understood and communicated its risks better. I believe that the most important use case of crypto is to become decentralized money that transcends politics and nation states. I still believe this today, but what is DeFi with centralized money? And I hope others succeed in this mission where we have failed. UST was my life's work. This, combined with seeing it gain more Lindy effects and holders every day and eventually become one of the largest cryptos by market cap, blinded me to its potential risks and focused me on what seemed like its inevitable rise. There are rumors of certain currently beleaguered agents causing the UST depeg, talking about FTX. On this, while I hope more facts come out over the next few months, ultimately it doesn't matter. The decentralized money of the future should be able to withstand all possible attacks. While I was wrong and terribly so, I maintain there was no fraud. TFL donated what was then more than $3 billion to establish LFG.org. to diversify UST's collateral backing and focused our investments to grow Terra's ecosystem. We wouldn't have done this if we thought UST were to fail. The audit report published by JS held today addresses many of the allegations around the use of LFG's funds, primarily were there any misuse of funds, embezzlement, insider benefit, etc.? Did LFG have any other funds not publicly disclosed, and were those funds frozen? The audit concluded that LFG spent $2.8 billion to defend UST's PEG, consistent with LFG's tweets on May 16th. Additionally, TFL went above and beyond and spent $613 million of its own capital to defend the UST PEG. So the audit concluded this. The report shows that all LFG funds were spent to defend UST's PEG, parity with the dollar as declared, and that LFG's remaining balances are the only funds remaining. In its last moments, we fought to the last to protect UST and its users. So why does this even matter? It is natural to suspect fraud when something goes wrong, but if we sweep all failures in crypto as scams and say there are some bad apples, but everything else is fine, then we never have opportunities to learn from our mistakes. Terra was not a centralized platform gone bust through misuse of funds or fraud. It was one of the largest layer 1 blockchains with 2 native assets in the CoinMarketCap top 10. How to prevent other failures like it will take more than anger and sweeping bans of similar protocols. For those of you whose minds I have not been able to change, I accept your judgment. I continue to think about learnings in number 12 and apply it to the systems I work on. Hopefully we can find ways to understand each other at some point. All right, so yeah. Kwon is saying that yeah, it looks like FTX was behind the collapse of Luna, and according to the research I've done, it does look like FTX was responsible for the collapse of Luna. They're the ones that attacked it, put in the big short and everything. But Kwon's saying ultimately that doesn't really matter because obviously there was a weakness in Luna, and if FTX didn't do it, eventually somebody else would have. So the point is we need to focus on building stronger systems that can withstand any attack. So yeah, and then we have this audit that he published that is showing they did in fact deploy all their resources to defend the PEG. There was no fraud. They weren't stealing the money. So it's looking like Kwon actually was a good guy. Obviously, he made some huge mistakes that cost people a lot of money, but it's looking like he wasn't intentionally trying to commit fraud and steal money and whatnot. He just failed in building a stable coin that could withstand attacks, and then someone like FTX can come along, attack it, take it down. So yeah, what do you guys think about all this? Pretty interesting. So let's move on to the charts now for our Luna Classic here. I mean, the bright side is this whole collapse sucks if you are a Luna holder before the collapse, but it did give us this opportunity to make a ton of money with Luna Classic. So that is pretty nice. But anyways, getting into the charts here. So Terra Classic is down on support now. So likely won't go much. We likely won't be going lower here in the short term, unless of course Bitcoin and the whole market dumps again. Like if Bitcoin goes down to 10K, 12K, then yeah, Terra Classic will probably break through support then and could head all the way down to 10. But right now we're looking all right. We're on support. And moving over to Bitcoin, see what's going to happen. Well, in the last several hours, we have started to dump again, broke out of this uptrend, starting to dump back down. Currently at 16,400. Now, if we go on the 4-hour time frame, we are forming a bit of a triangle pattern here. You could draw this a few different ways, but it's a triangle. And yeah, this is bearish. So this is more likely we're going to break to the downside out of this, but could break to the upside. We'll see what happens. Probably going to break to the downside though. And this could dump us down to maybe 14. The price target of this is going to be around 14,000 or so. Could go even lower though. Let's zoom out on the daily. So yeah, if you look on the daily, it could be potentially like a bear flag here forming, which actually if this is a bear flag, that would give us a much lower price target here, somewhere down around, yeah, well, maybe like 13K or so. So yeah, zooming out on the weekly we did close below the weekly candle below the support, indicating more dumping to come here, most likely. So we'll see. So far, we're a couple days into this week. We haven't really done much. We're just sitting here going sideways pretty much. But yeah, good chance this isn't over yet, and this whole FTX contagion could cause us to dump more, possibly down to 12K, maybe even 10K. However, if you look at the RSI here on the weekly, we do have a possible bullish divergence forming where we have a lower low here, but the RSI is forming a higher low. So that could be a bullish divergence forming. I don't think Bitcoin has ever seen a bullish divergence on the weekly. You know, when I went back and looked at previous bear market bottoms, there was no bullish divergence on the weekly. It was like this. The RSI just came down and then went back up. So yeah, this could be huge. Could indicate a massive reversal, massive uptrend is coming. We could still go lower before that happens, but by the end of this year, going into next year, we could be starting the reversal. Could see the bottom of the bear market here in the next few months, and we could start heading back up. So get ready to load up, guys. People who buy the bottom of this are going to make insane gains over the next few years. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later.